Hey blockheads, this is DJ AK the Amanda Knight, and I'm here to let you know that my so-called whatever podcast and No More Games Radio have joined forces. Listen to No More Games Radio on Sundays at 2 p.m. for your favorite episodes of my so-called whatever podcast, and maybe a live episode? Who knows? Tune in to my so-called whatever podcast for upcoming No More Games radio features and exclusive stories from our staff and DJs. And as always, follow us on social media at No More Games Radio and at my so-called whatever. Hang tough!
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows and KOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom! And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
How are things with you?
They're okay. I had a good week last week. Thank you guys for all the birthday wishes. Thank you, Donnie Wahlberg. Thank you. And thank you to all those people that made that possible. I appreciate you.
That Donnie.
I know. I saw that and just my heart just like, I don't know. It like soared. I was just like, thank you so much, Donnie. I appreciate you.
It always feels good, like to be recognized on a special day by a special guy.
I mean, seriously, who would have thought? Who would have thought? Not me. Not me. Not
I
me.
know.
I appreciate it every single day. Just that, like, I just appreciate him so much. So
I'm so glad that he's, I don't know, like he's just like that kind of guy.
I know.
It's awesome. And it brings a lot to us as fans. Like he's a gem. He's a national treasure.
He really is.
This is why we're all Donnie girls.
We are all Donnie girls. Hashtag. We are all Donnie girls.
Hashtag.
Yes. I'm really excited this week because I'm getting, you guys, we've talked about us, in our diet journey, not diet, lifestyle change, still going on, still going strong.
Right.
I bought one of those rebounder trampolines. And I'm kind of excited.
Right.
Hopefully it won't collect dust. I have tall ceilings now that I can do that in my new house. Before our ceilings were very low, so I would have hit the ceiling if I had one. So,
because if you guys didn't know, Nikki's very tall.
I'm about like 5'10" ish. I used to be almost tall. 6 feet, but weight and oldness shrunk me.
Well, I hear you. I shrunk 2 inches.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I even might be like 5'9" something, but, so I got that and I'm getting my new Peloton treadmill, which I'm very excited about because I use my treadmill all the time and it started to slip, like the tread thing that like rolls.
Oh,
and that's dangerous. So
like the belt. Right.
Kevin's like, listen, just get a nice one. Get a nice treadmill. You use it. Get, how's the Peloton one? So I did my research and it seems like it's okay. Like it seems like a good treadmill.
Yeah.
So a lot of people love it. And I mean, I'm probably not going to do the workouts on it because I'm sure it's like primarily running, but I don't know. Maybe. You never know.
You never know. Hey,
I use my Peloton and who would have thought that I would be able to ride a bike like that? Not me. I
don't think I could do that.
Those are two things that I'm really excited about. Also, Bryn had Whoops. Hold on. Just knocking everything off my desk today. Bryn had her first like dance that she's ever been to. Besides like the father-daughter dance. And
It was like a semi-formal, right?
it was. And like I can remember our prep for semi-formal was like quite a bit, but Bryn is just a no-nonsense type of girl. And she let me know last week or like the week before that she wanted to go with her friends. And I'm like, I don't know if we can get a dress. And then she's like, okay, maybe I won't go then. And then last week she was like, or the week before, it was a week until the dance. She's like, yeah, I really want to go. And I'm like, okay, so we're going to have to like find a dress for you Monday before the dance. The dance was on Saturday. I happened to be going through some of my stuff that I had on like Mercari and Poshmark. And I had a formal dress like that. It was from her father-daughter dance days. And I was like, would this work? And she's like, oh, what? Why not? Like, whatever. She like doesn't care. So I was just concerned that she would, you know what I mean? Like she's so no nonsense. I just wanted her to make sure she had a dress that like other people kind of similar, but she doesn't care. She absolutely doesn't care. And she looked beautiful. So
she did. I saw pictures.
It was a perfect
she looked
fit.
Gorgeous.
And so now I told her, I said, she had a blast. A blast.
That's awesome.
She said it was like the father-daughter dance without fathers. I was like, yeah, pretty much. She was just like able to hang out with all her friends. And I'm so glad she went because she had second thoughts about going. She's so shy. She's like painfully shy.
Yeah.
And she was really scared she was going to get left out. But the girl she went with is a sweetheart. And no, she didn't get left out at all.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, so it was fun. That was last night. And we were up until like 1:00 in the morning because we were talking about it afterwards. It was so fun. And yeah, now she has basketball in the morning. So yeah.
I love that though. I'm so glad she had a good time and she looked adorable.
Oh, thank you.
I really loved her shoes.
Yeah, she was like, she's like, I don't give a shit. I'm going to wear these Converse, like wrecked sneakers. She didn't like, Perfect. Whatever. I'm going to wear them. I found a pair of like low top canvas, like sequined one. And I was like, these are perfect. And she's like, no, I'm just going to wear these. I was like, okay. So, yeah, all went well. It was fun and she's ready to do it again. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I can't believe she's so grown up.
I know. I have a question. Like, it seemed more likely than not for them to go without dates, which I was really surprised. Like a lot of them went with friends. Or maybe it's just all of Bryn's friends went, with friends.
Right.
Because I can remember, like, we didn't really do that, but people must have done that, like at our semi-formals.
I didn't
either.
If I felt like I felt
like I had to have a date, but I'm glad she doesn't feel that way. So,
because I remember you had to you bought tickets for like a couple. So I don't know. Maybe it's different now, but I think that's awesome.
I'm glad it's changed because I mean, like I said, she met up with multiple friends that just went with their friends, not like a date. So
not like a date. I think that's great. Actually, in 8th grade, our last dance, which was like a semi-formal type of thing.
Yeah.
I just went with friends.
Yeah.
I didn't have a date. There was like a bunch of us that went as just, girlfriends.
Right. I think I was planning on going with your group.
And then you got a date.
And then I got a date. And I was like, okay.
Obviously, I'll go with a date.
I was thinking, I was just like, whatever. I'd never had like the date experience. So
I think that's,
I hope I didn't
think that was fun.
Yeah. Didn't like, I'm ditching you guys because I got a date. But
no,
It was
No.
it was just the
I don't remember it being like
experience.
that.
Yeah. So yeah, our semi-formal we had in high school was called SEPDEB. I think we've talked about it. We had
And
a
it was like Sadie
sorority,
Hawkins style.
right? Girls ask guys. And we had sororities in high school. I want to hear, anybody else have sororities in high school?
I know we've posed this question before, and I don't think we heard anything back.
No, I don't think so either. So I want to know because we did. And
Right.
there were just two. There were only two. There was Queen City and there was SEPDEB. And you were in Queen City
Yep.
and I was on SEPDEB.
Yep.
So it was an experience. Like, I honestly didn't think I was gonna make it. I didn't think I was gonna make the cut. I was super surprised when I made the cut because I think I made it as a junior. I think my junior year they came and did that.
Yeah, I think it was the same for me.
Yeah.
It was, I mean, it wasn't weird. It was normal to us because that's what we knew. Like that was our high school experience.
And that was like the thing. Like you wanted to be, let's be honest,
In
like
one or the other.
Most girls wanted to be in the sorority. Like,
you know, I feel like here's the thing. Most girls that we knew.
Most girls we knew. Yes. Most girls we knew. Because
I know that there were some. I know that there were some that were like,
this is dumb.
Bullshit. This is stupid. You guys are dumb.
Yeah.
Posers.
Right. Which could entirely be true. I don't know.
It's just different. You know, we had a pretty big school and there were a lot of, you know, different types of people into different things. And the one, like the girls that we were friends with and hung out with, and, you know, it was like it was a thing that we did.
Right.
But it was fun.
It was. And I didn't do much from what I remember. Like I went to a couple fundraisers. Yeah, we took a picture for the yearbook. That's all I
don't even remember the picture.
Yeah.
But I know I worked the door at one of the dances with Darcy.
Oh, at like SEPDEB or?
Yep. Maybe. We like took tickets and did that because we didn't have dates. So
I don't think I did that, but I didn't go to SEPDEB my senior year. I went my junior year.
I went my junior year. Did I go I didn't go my sophomore year. I think it was just my junior year and then senior year when I worked the door.
Yeah, my boyfriend
I didn't go freshman. I had somebody I wanted to ask freshman year.
Oh, me too.
Somebody else asked him before I asked him.
I don't remember who that was.
Oh my God. And I was so upset. And then like, oh my God. Yeah, I was so upset. And then they ended up dating for years.
That's right.
And I ended up going with them, that couple, junior year with my date and then another couple.
And your date was like my crush of a lifetime in middle school.
I wonder where he is these days.
I don't know.
I hope he's doing well.
Yeah, I've like tried to look him up on Facebook. He doesn't seem like the type of guy to be on Facebook. So
no.
Yeah.
No, never would be. I'm sure he was very smart.
Yes.
I'm sure he's doing something great somewhere out there.
Right. Which good for him. You know, he was a nice guy. He really was.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, totally.
Yeah. So send your, like, I want to hear your semi-formal stories. Yeah. Send them in. Maybe we'll do like a little winter episode, like winter semi-formals. Like,
because I feel like that was like a thing, like around Valentine's Day, that type of stuff.
Right.
That's what ours was.
And also like the guys that went with Bryn's semi-formal, nobody had a tux on or a suit.
Oh,
yeah, because I guess now they wear suits.
Really?
Yeah, everybody was just shirt and tie.
Interesting.
Where when we went to semi-formal, it was like a prom.
It was like a prom. It was like a prom. It was exactly like a prom.
Right.
You would get all done up and guys would wear tuxes and.
Yeah. And I was just like, when Bryn was I'm like, we should have had your hair done. Like everything was just really rushed. And my heart hurt a little bit because like this was our first one and I felt like we weren't prepared. So like I said, we'll be looking all year for a semi-formal dress for next year.
Yeah, but she had a good time and
blast.
Like you said, she doesn't care.
She really doesn't.
She really
doesn't. Sometimes to a fault.
And that's what matters.
She really doesn't. I wish I could be more like her. Like, honestly, I would have had a much better high school experience if I could have been more like her. Honestly. Like,
yeah.
I spent a lot of time very like high anxiety, worried about every little thing, worried about like replaying conversations that happened that day over in my head constantly. It was just a lot of work. So
worried about other people.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, high school was good for me, but I feel like the days after or like years after were much more meaningful. So
I think that's pretty common, I think, for a lot of people.
Yeah. I just tell Bryn that, you know what I mean? When she's like going through some stuff as girls do, as all kids do, I tell her, you know, it gets better. It gets so much better.
Yeah.
And she was saying like some of the teachers were telling her like high school years are the best days of your life. Like for some people, like I peaked in high school. Here we go. Putting it out there. I peaked in high school and it sucks to peak in high school.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel I was at my best in high school.
Why?
I don't know.
I don't think that that's true.
At one point, I feel like I had the whole world in front of me. Do you know what I mean? Like I had,
because you
had
did
so many opportunities. And I know I haven't talked about it on here, but I talk about it a lot with Bryn. You know, I made a lot of really bad decisions. Not like drugs and stuff like that, but just like I didn't have the support system that I needed. I didn't have like your mom and dad, which I always wanted. That was like my and you know, I'm sorry guys to like talk bad. It's just everybody has their own thing. And for me,
everybody has their shit.
Right. I didn't really have the support system to guide me and maneuver me through these really big decisions, So I made a lot of poor decisions and I disappointed a lot of people, and it like still really resonates with me, like that I did that. But I never would have met Kevin. Everything happens for a reason. Like everything happens for a reason. And I never would have had the experiences I had at the airport. I never would have had the lifelong friendships that I've made. Hell, I wouldn't probably even be doing this here right now.
Well, right.
So, and you know what I mean?
And I'm going to say, I do. And I'm going to say, as far as decisions that you made or whatever, I forgot where I was going to go with it. But when you were talking, I'm like, I don't think, like in the grand scheme of life, whatever decisions you made that you felt were bad, like you were just saying, brought you to where you are now.
Right.
And I don't think that you would want to be anywhere else.
I wouldn't. I honestly wouldn't.
And that's how I feel. Like I made, and look, like our parents are totally different.
100%.
Like we recognize that.
Right.
I also made stupid ass decisions.
I mean, I feel like everybody does. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
because that's growing up.
Mm-hmm.
You have to do these things. You have to. I mean, we were just talking yesterday about being teenagers and like some of the stupid shit we did and what we would have done if given the opportunity. And we would have done it.
And like now I have a child that's her age. And I'm thinking all the things I did when I was her age. Oh my gosh.
Right.
Oh my
So
gosh.
that is like a universal thing. We all go through it. We all do dumb stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And thank God nothing really bad happened to us or caught up
Oh God, thank God.
with us, you know?
Yeah.
But I'm just gonna put on record, I don't think that you peaked in high school. I think your peak is now.
Brooke, thank you. That makes me feel
No, for
really
real.
good.
For real, because you've got stuff figured out. Even though you don't feel like you do, you've come a long way.
I do have to admit, I will give myself that credit. I have come a long way, you know.
You have.
And this got
still
really deep.
I know. And still working towards, bettering yourself. We all are.
Yeah.
That's what we're all trying to do.
Right. I mean, I feel like that's what we're supposed to do. Like,
right.
There's never will I ever just be like, this is fine. You know what I mean? Like, this is fine. No, there's always ways you can better yourself or help other people or, put yourself out there. So
absolutely. And
I don't think I was ever like that before. I kind of looked at my parents and their expectations were, I remember my ex-boyfriend said this to me. This was one of the things that he said that was correct, that I wasn't old enough to understand that it was serious, like what he said was true. So he told me that my parents didn't have wherewithal to guide me because they only expected me to do as well as they are. And that I was living in that thought system. So I was like, I didn't have aspirations, which he was 100% right. Like I wanted to be a police officer and I wanted to do this, but I never thought it was possible. I don't even remember how we talked in the conversation, but he was like, you need to get it in your head that you can do better than your parents. Right. And he told me this. Yeah. And I mean, I give him credit for that because he could tell that I was getting in the mindset that this was it. And that was one of the things he told me when he broke up with me was that I didn't set goals and go towards them. And which is hard to hear when you're 19 years old, 20 years old.
But that's also it's
cringy. I know. Him saying that to me has stuck with me. And honestly, after that, when I met Kevin nurtured that, anything I wanted to do, he told me, you can do it. You can do it. You could do whatever you want. And I'm like, right. He's like, yeah, I'll help you. For once, somebody in my life, I mean, you would have helped me too, but you didn't know this was going on, but he was like, I can help you. What do you want to do? You want to go back to school? Go back to school. You want to, you want to do this website thing that is new in the 2000s? You go for it.
It's new in the 2000s.
Yes. This .com craze. I mean, seriously, it was a craze. It was a trend. And I was there for it. I'm like, this is what I want to do. I want to do this. This is what I want to do.
Right.
And I did, you guys. I did. I made it work. I made it happen. This podcast.
Right.
There are people in my life that tell me this is stupid. Not straight up. And probably not to my face. But we
know.
Right.
I know.
Right. And what they don't understand is that we've set goals and we've achieved them. And that's a big deal.
Right. And you know what? Who cares? Because it's fun.
It is fun. And we've always said,
why people want to look down on that.
I don't know. You know why? Here's why. Here's what I think. I think that they don't have something in their life that they can feel proud of, successful about. And it's kind of well, I don't have that, so nobody else needs that. That's silly. It's kind of New Kids on the Block. It's not hurting anybody. So why make fun of it? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's bringing nothing but pleasure to someone. It's just like NASCAR. It's just like collecting friggin' Hot Wheels cars. I mean, it's just
like anything.
Ever
Right.
since this, I look at other things like that. I would go, oh, that's weird. I don't look at it as weird anymore. I'm like, that's their thing. That brings them happiness. Like, let them be them.
Exactly. Let
If
them
they wanna,
let them live
as long as it's not hurting anybody
and enjoy,
including themselves.
Right.
Like eating cotton balls and shit like that, even though it's bringing you pleasure, it's gonna hurt you in the long run.
That's gonna hurt. That's gonna hurt your gut.
Yes. So that's probably
That's
not
good
a
for
good
you.
thing.
No. Eating cigarette butts from an ashtray.
No.
Not a good thing.
No.
I love that show so much though.
Oh my God, I can't watch it.
I haven't watched it in a while. I don't even know if it's still on. But it's just like, but okay. It's like saying don't yuck my yum. Like,
right.
Only
don't yuck my yum. I love it.
Yeah, don't yuck my yum. It's like, so what if I like cheese on bananas?
Right.
I think it's delicious. Don't yuck my yum.
Do you really think cheese on bananas is delicious?
Yeah, there's nothing like a piece of it has to be yellow American cheese wrapped around a banana.
I'm not going to knock it because there are things that just aren't supposed to go together that just are amazing.
That just work.
They do.
It's really good. It's something about like, I don't know, the salty of the cheese and then the sweet of the banana and then like the creaminess of both because they're both like a little creamy, you know?
Yeah.
It's just good. But I haven't had it in a long time because I don't keep yellow American cheese in the house because nobody will eat it but me. And I don't need to eat all that cheese. It's important that it's yellow American.
I think we should just continue this conversation.
Okay.
This isn't what we had planned, you guys.
No, not at all.
But we're gonna go with it.
We were totally gonna not do this, but okay.
Yeah, let's just do it. We can find tons of stuff to talk about. So why not? I mean, you guys have told us you like our banter. Here we go. We're gonna banter. That's all we're gonna do today.
Banter episode.
Yes.
Just talking.
Yeah.
So yeah, the banana and the cheese thing. Honestly, you guys try it. If you have the ingredients, try it. Don't like go out and buy it because then if you don't like it, you're gonna be like,
oh, why did I buy this yellow cheese and bananas? All these bananas.
Right. I had it at a friend's house when I was a kid.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they used to. I shouldn't say they. It wasn't like the whole family, but her and her sister used to eat it, and I was like, "This is weird."
I'm not gonna knock it.
No. She's like, "No, try it. Just try it." It's delicious.
I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it. I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued.
I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. But yeah, so don't yuck my yum. Don't rain on my parade.
Right. Don't do it. Just don't. Because I think that those people are just lacking something. It's just kind of like what Donnie says. Okay, I'm going to go back to what Donnie says. When he says that people are assholes basically because they don't like themselves. I think that's like the like fleshed out version of what he's saying. Like you've got to love yourself. And usually people who are saying shit, talking shit, don't like have some kind of inadequacy. And that's why they're talking shit.
That makes perfect sense.
So, yeah, I mean,
yes.
Yeah. It's, I that's one thing that I always struggled with. I always wanted people to like me. And if somebody didn't like me, I would take that personally. I still kind of do. I'm going to be honest with you. I still kind of do. I especially do with like my children. If they don't like my children, I'm like, watch out. You know what I mean? Like,
well, I feel like that's different. And then it's also very, very normal because same. No, granted, Sadie's young.
Mm-hmm.
So I haven't really run into that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But let me tell you, if somebody I don't really care if people like me or not.
I love that about you.
I generally don't care. I'll tell you what I do care about, what I've always cared about. And I mean, I don't run into it now because I'm older, but like, I really don't like when people are mean or say rude things about the way someone looks. And like, I used to have people make fun of me for how I looked. And it's like, I can't, like, there's literally nothing I can do about that. This is just how my face is. Like, this is just how I look. So I don't know what you want me to do. And it's like, that hurt so bad. And I still think about that. And it's like, I don't even think I look that bad.
Absolutely not. Brooke, you're gorgeous. I mean, everybody says it all the time. You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, thank you.
I think that person had some kind of feelings for you.
There was more than one person. There's more than one person.
They had issues. I know who you're talking
There's
about.
a whole
they had freaking issues.
Group of people.
Yeah.
Boys.
And
like, that sucked. That sucked. And I mean, I don't run into that now because, like, generally, like, adults don't do that, at least to your face. Maybe they do behind my back. But, like, I don't care if somebody doesn't like me because of who I am, because I am who I am. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't do anything to hurt anybody. I'm not a rude person. I'm not a mean person.
Right.
So if they don't like me, that's a problem with them, not me. But it would be different, though, if they didn't like my child. I would be like, the fuck?
Yeah. Bryn has had some issues with people. It's straight up being a B for no reason. And just because you feel like you can be. I'm not just saying this because she's my daughter. I really am not, because I don't want to sound like a mean mom, but you know what I mean? Like, I always give, if somebody came to me and said, like, Bryn's being a jerk, I would be like, Bryn, why are you being a jerk? I'm not going to be like,
you're not
child,
one of those.
Never a jerk.
Yeah.
Never.
Right. No.
I'm just not one of those people. And, you know, if you are, that's fine. Because I know my kids and I know they can be jerks, but it's just like outright being mean, just being mean to make somebody feel inadequate. And I don't know. Yeah. I think it's ridiculous.
Well, it is.
I just look, when I see their parents, I'm just like, okay. Like, don't say anything, Nikki. Don't say anything.
I know. You're very lucky that she tells you.
I am very lucky.
Because, like, lucky. When those people made me feel that way, I never told my parents.
Really?
I never told my mom. I was embarrassed. Like, I was too embarrassed to tell my parents. And I didn't want them to think that, like, I don't know. I was just embarrassed. So I didn't tell people.
I don't think you told me until we were older.
Until I was older. Right.
Yeah.
Because I was horrified.
How did you find out? I think we've talked about this before, but how did you find out? Did somebody tell you?
Yeah, pretty much. So I figured it out when a couple people signed my yearbook. Guys, they used to say that I looked like Droopy Dog. They said that I look like Droopy Dog, which there's nothing wrong with Droopy Dog, but I've always had like bags under my eyes ever since I was a baby. It's just something I have. And I'm so totally insecure about it. I never was until then. I didn't realize it was that big of a deal. But I've dealt with it in different forms too, because even as like in my early 20s, people would always, I shouldn't say people would always, it's not like people were stopping me left and right, but on more than one occasion, I had people assume that I was like a pothead or that I like, that I smoked a lot of pot. No, there's anything wrong with that. Whatever. I don't care. You do you. And it's not like I haven't done it. I have. But certainly I'm not like I've never been like a daily pot smoker. And like I was like, I remember I had a guy like challenge me on it. He's like, you are lying. Like you are a stoner. Yes.
What?
Yeah. And I was like, I'm not. This is just how I look. Like, it's just how I look. I can't help it. And it's like a hereditary. Like a lot of women in my family, men, a lot of us in my family have those eyes. I can't help it. But anyway, that's become a huge insecurity my whole life, to the point of like I've talked to a surgeon about it.
Really?
Or yes, when I've gone to get my Botox, I've talked to a couple different people about the process of like having those fat packets removed and all of that.
Wow.
I might do it one day. I don't know. If I come into some money, maybe. But like
whatever makes you happy, but I don't see it.
It's just, I was embarrassed. I didn't tell people because I didn't want to point out the obvious that like I have these droopy eyes.
I don't think you have droopy eyes though.
Saggy bag eyes. It's just these like eye bags and they like puff out. It doesn't matter how much sleep I get. They're always there. It's just a thing.
I don't even see them though. I honestly don't. Like,
I mean, it is what it is.
Even if you told me that, and like I'd be like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like I have no idea.
Look, this one is casting a shadow.
It's
casting a shadow.
It's not a bad thing.
I mean, it's fine, and it is what it is. I mean, I've obviously lived with it for 41 years, but there were a group of people in high school that made me feel really bad about it. And the thing is, it was an ongoing thing I didn't pick up on for a long time. So they were making fun of me and I didn't know it. So like, I was friendly with these people. I didn't know any better. So it kind of made me also look like a fool, which is embarrassing. And like, I didn't want to admit that to my parents. They're assholes. Yeah. They're total assholes. And then they run around like they're like not.
Right.
And that, I mean, and you know what? I'm sure they've grown up.
Maybe.
But I'm sure in some ways they haven't. So it is what it is.
Yeah. I can tell you too, I mean, that a lot of the things that you learn as a child can outwardly cause you to do things that you don't know you're doing that hurt people. Does that make sense? So I'm not saying that they have any excuse for what they did or what they said, because that's ridiculous, but it comes from somewhere, like,
right.
It comes from somewhere, whether it came from their parents or they had like probably it had to come from somebody's like upbringing. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
But here's the thing. It was like reverse for me though. Like I hated ever talking shit about people. So I always got really uncomfortable when somebody would talk about other people. To the point where some people didn't want to talk to me about things because I didn't want to like join in. Right. Because I didn't see anything wrong with that person. And I think what they were saying was I mean, this happened so many times and people like, and then, so I would just nod my head. I think that there are certain things that you acquire as a child that you can, if you take an inventory of yourself, you figure it out and you grow as a person. But if you don't, you pass those things on to your child.
Right. Hopefully you grow as a person.
Yes.
And then, like you said, right. If you don't, then.
I mean, I caught myself talking shit last night and I'm like, why am I saying this? This is so inappropriate. Like I was doing it around Bren and I'm like, and that's not me. Like, I don't do that. Then I stop and I say, you know what? That was entirely uncalled for. I apologize. Right. I should have never said that. Like, I'm sorry. And then, Kevin and Bryn will look at me like, and I'm like, no, that was wrong. Like, I shouldn't have said that. That was inappropriate.
I've done that before at work, not recently, but recent enough that I remember. And I was talking, I was just saying not nice things about somebody. And I stopped myself and to the coworkers I was talking to. And I was like, you know what? Like that's really inappropriate. Like I shouldn't say that. I don't really know this person. I don't know what kind of day they're having. I don't know their situation. So, because someone was being a bee.
And that's
So
really
I
big
was
of
like,
you, to be honest with you, because like, especially if they're being a B to you.
oh yeah, no, someone was being a total B. And I was not to their face, but I was being a B to them behind their back. And I was like, no, that's I shouldn't say that. That's not fair of me. And I let's just pretend I didn't say it, even though I can't, we can't pretend, but I feel gross. So
I always say to Bryn, I've said this since the day she was born, like her growing up. Well, not born, because we didn't have these kind of talks when she was like 3 months old. But I always say to her, never say something about somebody that you wouldn't say directly to their face.
Right. And I've tried to live by that.
I really try to live by, excuse me, I have hiccups. I really try to live by that because it's true. And sometimes I will catch myself saying stuff, but I'm like, I just want to let you guys know I would totally say this to their face. It's just a thing that it's a really good thing to live by. It's a really good thing to tell your kids. But then when you do it, you're like, okay, I've told my kids this forever. And here I am. I would never say this to somebody's face. Like, this is entirely uncalled for. So yeah, we make mistakes. This is our first time being parents.
We're human.
We're not like,
we haven't done this over and over again.
No, this is my first time raising a sophomore in high school. I try to do all the things that I wanted when I was a sophomore in high school. But Bryn's always like, I'm not like you. We're not the same person. And then she'll be like, yeah, we are.
Yeah,
we're very similar.
Okay.
But yes. I mean, but like I said, she has a lot of really awesome qualities that I really wish I had. But yeah, or she'll go like, you went to school 20 years ago. And I'm like, hey, it doesn't matter. It's the same. And don't tell me it's more been like 25 years ago. Yeah. And don't tell me it's been 20 years since I've been to school. Oh shit. That sucks. Do you think you'll go to the 25th reunion if there is one?
I don't know. I haven't been to a reunion yet. I don't know why I'd start now.
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know. If those people that are there would want to be part of my life and want to see me, they would have reached out already.
They would be.
You know what I mean?
And vice versa.
Right. Same.
Vice versa.
Right. It's not that they're not lovely people.
I want to see. I talk to people I want to see.
Right.
Talk to.
They're lovely people. 100% lovely people. If I saw them at Target, I would definitely stop and I would talk to them. But, yeah. Yeah. So this was a deep conversation.
It was. All stuff we've probably talked about before, but that's all right. We have some new listeners, I'm sure, out there somewhere.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That hasn't heard it.
Right.
But
right. I mean, there's other people going through the same thing, I'm sure there are other people going through what I'm going through right now. There's people that their parents, can't take care of themselves anymore. And they're looking to you for answers. And you're like, I don't have the answers. I don't know. You need medical assistance. And I'm not a nurse, and
right.
It's hard. It's hard because for me, it's hard because I worry too much about what other people think. I worry that other people think I'm a bad person because my mom is in a nursing home. My mom can't take care of herself.
That's where she gets the care she needs, though.
Right. And
you're not you're not a nurse.
No.
Your sister isn't a nurse.
No.
You guys, there are people that are trained to take care of, people in that situation.
Right. Right. And
it's what a lot of us would do.
But it was hard because I was told from a young age that it was a bad thing to put somebody in a home, and it's the best place. My mom has a routine. She actually, I don't think she likes it when we visit, because we take her away from her routine,
You mess with her routine, right?
We do it more so for us, really, honestly, than for her.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But she likes her routine. Like we go and we see her. They have like this little like area that looks like a patio, but it's inside. And so like we walk around the outside. It's kind of neat the way they have things set up. And we talk, but we don't talk to my mom because she can't carry on a conversation. She just likes to listen to my sister and I talk. So we just talk about stuff, like random stuff. And my mom seems to like it. Like, and she'll occasionally chime in. But it's usually like you don't know what she said.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there are other people going through this too. And if you are, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to talk because this is hard. It's not easy.
I can't even imagine, honestly.
No, I don't talk about it a lot. It feels good to kind of talk about it on here, even though it's like, I think my family would be mortified if I was talking about it on the podcast. But it's not a secret. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know if you guys deal with that,
part of life though.
Right.
Like a lot of people have that same experience.
My childhood home has sold. So it is now empty, like completely empty. And the new people will be moving in next week. So I hope that they have an amazing life. You know what I mean? Like there are some really good memories in that house, especially with my friends. So
there are some great memories in that house.
Yeah.
Or in the tent behind the house.
And the tent behind the house. Talk about things that we shouldn't have been doing.
Oh my God.
Remember when I like colored the beer can into a Pepsi can?
Yep. On a picture, and then you put it on your wall.
And I put it on my wall, and no one knew the difference.
No one knew the difference. That it wasn't a Pepsi can.
No.
That's hilarious. Do you still have that?
I do. Actually, I just came across it just recently, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like so telling. Like, this is so, I would notice this if Bryn put it up. But would I? I don't know. I had it with a lot of other
You'd have to really look to notice.
But my mom would constantly look at those pictures. Like I had this big bulletin board with tons of pictures and she would constantly look at them. And I'm like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. Never did she know. No, never did she know.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So I still have that picture. Maybe I'll find it and post it. I don't know. I look ridiculous. Like we weren't really doing anything. It was just like we were having a sip of beer. Like
right.
We didn't.
It was like one beer.
It was one that we shared amongst ourselves.
God.
Because it was like, ooh, we're drinking an alcoholic beverage. Oh my God. Oh, you guys did it too.
It was fun.
Yeah.
Stupid kids. Dumb. But we had fun. And we were good kids.
Yeah.
We did some dumb things, but we were good kids.
We did. I want to hear some of the dumb things you did as a kid that you would like to share. You can be completely anonymous. Anonymous. Just write us a story.
We will not reveal.
No, absolutely not. Just say, I want to be anonymous, or otherwise we will probably say your name. If you say like your name at the end.
Hey, I'm Julie.
Right. Just in like, if you guys ever want to send a story and you don't, we've had stories that people don't want us to tell their name and we don't. So just make sure you put in there. I don't want to use my name.
I'd like to be anonymous.
Perfect. We don't mind at all. We just need to know. So I think that's all for now. I hope you enjoyed this. My so-called whatever. We should call it my so-called whatever. I don't know. What should we call it? Because it's not really a whatever episode because we didn't really have a topic.
Right.
December thoughts.
Or like Sunday morning chat.
I like it.
Or Sunday morning banter.
Yeah. Sunday morning banter.
One or the other.
So you either liked it or you hated it. And I don't think there's any in between.
Right. And if you're listening to it still, you probably liked it.
Yeah. And we appreciate you listening. And if you didn't like it, it's no big deal either, because I mean, we didn't talk about 80s or 90s. Well, we did kind of. We talked about, our experiences.
Like high school and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you next week for our regularly scheduled content.
Yes.
We have something really fun planned. So
we do.
Hopefully, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Because I always want to say that like ahead of time. I'm always scared to say the topic because I was just going to say it, but then
I was like, maybe we shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
But I was like,
yeah, I'm excited about it. Like, I mean, we don't have like.
Okay, listen, I'm going to say this.
Okay.
Guys, if you have HBO or HBO Max, go watch 8-Bit Christmas.
Right.
We're going to try to do a recap of it for this next episode. If we don't, then we will at some point.
Right. Right.
So just watch it.
Yes. Because that's what this episode was supposed to be about. But we ran into issue after issue after issue. It was crazy. Right. It was like someone didn't want us to do this episode.
Right.
Something didn't want us to do this episode. So yeah, we will, we'll do that episode if we can, which I mean, it's looking like we probably will. And we've got it scheduled. We have it on the schedule and everything. So as long as everything goes as planned, then we will be good to go, and we will do it next week.
It will be awesome.
So go watch that. I've watched about half of it and it is hilarious. I freaking love it.
So cute.
I can relate on so many levels. I'm going to go back and rewatch the first half of it because I want to take notes, because you know how I do.
Right. I didn't take any notes, but I'll probably watch it again just to like refresh before we discuss. And, but it was a really, really cute movie.
It's really cute. I don't know the end of it, so we'll see.
I will not spoil it. But my 9-year-old liked it too.
Oh, I love it.
It was fun. I mean, she doesn't have the attention span, but she did watch parts of it, and I had to like explain some things to her. It was kind of fun.
And
then we watched Edward Scissorhands.
Oh, I love that.
And she was like into it. Like she was laying on the couch, like paying attention.
That's the best feeling in the world.
It made me so happy.
It's such a good movie.
It is such a good movie. I hadn't watched it in so long. So anyway, that was on Disney Plus.
I will watch that as well because it's a great winter movie to watch.
Absolutely. I told her this is one of my favorite holiday movies. And then I'm like, well, it's not really a holiday movie, but it is kind of a holiday movie. So
it's kind of like Die Hard.
Right. I've never seen Die Hard, but from what I understand, when I hear about it, it's kind of,
You should just watch it just to watch it, so you can like understand the like context of when people use references. That's why I watched it finally, because I was like, okay, I've never seen Die Hard. I need to watch it. And then I was like, oh, this is like not my type of movie, but okay.
It's definitely not my type of movie, but maybe I will.
All right, guys. All right, this was our episode. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you guys next week. We will be taking the week after Christmas off because Brooke will be in Disney the week before. So
I'm so excited.
We will have a little vacation, and then we will be back for the new year on January 2nd with a new episode for you, as long as everything goes as planned, like I said, because you just never know what happens. And I don't want to make promises I can't keep. That's my biggest thing. Like, I never want to make promises I can't keep. So, we're planning on doing a year in rewind. We'd love to hear things that you guys loved about this year, listening to the podcast in our community. We'd love to hear it. So send them our way, and
please,
you can just email us if you want
to. Send us your holiday stories.
Yes, send us your holiday stories for our next episode after this 8-Bit Christmas one.
Right.
We love you guys.
Love you guys.
We'll be loving you forever.
There you go.
Bye.
And ever. Bye.
Bye.